meeting junkie.
We're trying to have an open meeting.
Just gonna show me the
Okay.
ropes.
I went up to him and I said, Tom, right? I said, I don't recognize you without that big structure behind
Right,
you.
and the smell of
Apron
just,
and the good food.
yes, but the chimney smoking and the smell that, yeah.
Drives you crazy.
Okay, so, I don't know, Rita, this is Tom. I think
Hi.
maybe you were out
Hi,
of the room
Tom.
and anyway. Rita, Free.
He runs Arkansas Tom.
I'm Arkansas Tom, the barbecue.
Are you up
Barbecue
in
guy.
Tilson
Yep,
on Rose Avenue?
yep.
Yeah, I one time walked by and you gave me a taste of what you were doing there. That was
Yep.
wonderful.
Just trying to be a good neighbor.
Okay, Pickle Festival,
What you got?
site plan.
Hold on a second, there's other farmers market issues?
Well,
and
not
did we
Oh.
see-
really.
Did we table that? The
Right,
number
well,
of
they're
top-
kind of moot now.
Yeah.
Well, the porta potty, is that,
Do you want to be
Part
heard
of it,
about
water
that?
drainage at the
These
snack
were
shack,
complaints
that's
of
not-
farmer's market.
Yeah.
it sounds
Okay,
like a
yeah.
problem.
Okay,
The porta potty went missing on Labor Day weekend.
kill
Yes.
us.
But the biggest thing is the farmer's market. I'm a man. All I need is a car door or a tree. But women have come at it. Actually, Chef Epstein come out of there and says, you know, I wouldn't go in there. But the idea is if somehow we could try to get it cleaned on Fridays. I'm not sure when they do it, but Friday would be the optimum
Yes.
day to have that done.
Yeah, I did call Mike, and he totally understood, and his comment was, call anytime, I'll be there anytime.
All right.
So hopefully, you find that it's better since we had this discussion?
Sunday was, I'd say, probably on a scale from 1 to 100, probably about 65.
All right, I'll get on it.
But also, it just disappeared.
Yeah, that was,
That's
Right.
unacceptable.
yeah, that was
Disappeared porta potties.
unacceptable.
We even looked in the bushes for it. And
Yeah.
somebody pushed it over the hill.
I went in on the ravine. I
No,
thought
they
maybe
can't,
some
and
kids
they
had
never
thrown it
have
over the
I
edge.
was just gonna say the guys from Jackass.
Or young adults.
Yeah, they never have before. They've been partners with the town forever, so when I got that message, I was away of course, that week. But I was shocked. I thought, oh my God, he must have gone out of business. That's how reliable he has been, you know, wow. So I did call him as soon as I got back to town. I connected with you, because you
You
had
did
made some
connect with
direct.
me, yeah.
And Mike had said, it's gone? He too was startled because he instructed his men to switch it out. He was short on handicap. And he wanted them to switch us out with.
A single unit.
Exactly, right, just for this one temporary date, which he should have called and said, I'm gonna do anyway, because we have handicap users at the farmer's market, and I might have had to say no. But anyway, they slipped it, it was supposed to be a switch, but the guys didn't listen to their instructions, loaded the thing up and hauled it off to, I think it was the Hooli on the Hudson that ended up with our porta potty.
Oh, so it wasn't being serviced.
So, yeah, it was
It was just
gone.
stolen.
By our company.
But they
who
brought
supplies
it
them.
back.
Well, I called him up Monday, he said, Tara, I'm sorry, that was not supposed to happen, I did not know that was the case, and that Monday morning, as early as he could get here, which was almost immediately,
Yeah.
he brought it back,
Yeah.
he's.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were on vacation.
No,
when
I know,
bothered
no,
you.
no.
I mean,
My 4-year-old had an unfortunate, yeah.
No, I just said that. Considering it is near the playground, they do have more hand sanitizer. It might not be a bad idea to see if he could
Install.
I would love a hands, I've been asking if we could get one of the fancier
Yeah, we
With
ones.
the foot flush?
Like, well, no,
I mean,
that,
it's got one, you pump the water with your foot, wash your hands, and then sanitize.
yeah, that would be great. Or they even have ones with just, it's a handicap with hand sanitizer, but it has like panels in the top that let more light in, which like really makes a difference as to how clean people keep it. Because when it's dark in there, you know, people just run in and sort of aim and run out again in horror. And like, I'm just wondering, like, can we
I
upgrade?
think we priced it out. Was it?
He doesn't have any upgrades, he just
So
doesn't
we have
have
to
them.
go to another company.
And they don't, they're territorial, and they won't come.
I thought that
But the
early in
Stone Ridge
this year-
Library Fair gets the nicer ones with the hand sanitizer
Oh,
and the this
we
and that.
could, yeah, he has a separate hand sanitizer
It
unit,
is one.
yes, it's a side thing, on the side,
Outside.
Yes.
all
I
right.
mean, you might get kids playing
but
with
as
it
far
and
as
empty.
upgrading the whole entire unit itself, we
Can't
look-
do it. They don't
He doesn't
have.
offer it, and I called outside his district, they said, we don't do outside our territories.
It's like
They're
cable-
very,
It's like cable providers, it's
Yeah,
somebody else's
they-
territory.
exactly.
Well,
And
they
they
have
res-
worse things to sabotage each other with.
yeah, but they're very, I was impressed with how respectful of each other's territory, but it's a
What do
a
you
drag
think
for us.
it run to get a hand sanitizer thing in there?
Just more money.
A lot?
I'll find
Price
out.
it out.
Yeah, I think we looked
Price
into
it
it. I
out.
think I talked to him. You know what he did? He talked me out of it. He said that he would bring a gel and charge us, just put a gel pump thing right next to it, and he says so much cheaper, and and like I said, just never happened.
Yeah, that's what it is, basically, it's like a hand pump, and then sanitizer, because I did use one at the pool.
Okay, all right. Well, he said he would do that for us. Yeah, I asked for it. I guess he's short on inventory, but I'll get on it. I'll work
And he
on
owes
it.
us a big favor.
Yeah.
Does this mean that we didn't have a porta potty for a whole week?
No.
No,
Or the
no,
weekend?
they probably snagged it Saturday afternoon and brought it back Monday, you said?
Yeah.
So probably
No,
just,
no,
you
it
know,
wasn't 10 days, it was 3 days.
Yeah.
short term.
Still,
Right. It was bad. It was bad
But
because
we have taken to using the bus station.
hotel.
It's just, you know, me,
As a
who's
desperate-
probably- me who's 83 years old, gotta look 20 times before she runs across.
Oh.
Yeah, don't get that out because that's also state sponsored too, so if they find out the price, say that the farmer's market people can't be in their facilities.
No, they're going over to wait for the bus, and then they decide whether, you know, well, wait for the bus to go to farmer's market, just get to go back for the bus.
Yeah. Okay.
Our
Yeah.
old secret.
So I'm
Okay.
sorry for those inconveniences, and we'll get it. We'll get it right.
First time in 7 years.
Yeah.
Drainage,
That's it.
is that
they
what you
just did the same.
How are you doing?
What's that?
The snack shack drainage.
Sink.
We are thankful that the Board of Health has not come out to inspection because it would fail.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't,
At all.
No.
at all. If he gets water in there on Sunday, it'll be gone by the next Sunday, but it doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah,
It goes into the ground.
it's a 55-gallon drum that was set down there 50-some odd years ago, so you gotta figure with sediment and all that, there's probably less than a quarter of that capacity, if even that. It might just be a drain running into dirt at this point.
No.
Has anything been tried or?
Well, it's not worth putting any effort into it, the building's
Well, no,
already
no,
coming
but
down.
you could, I used to have one of those, like in my old house, a 50-gallon drum in the ground, and sometimes if you fed it the bacteria stuff,
No,
it
That's what
actually,
It's 50-something years old, it's collapsed upon itself, so there's really not a lot.
oh,
there.
there's,
It's
yeah,
probably a
I
metal
see.
drum at that.
Yeah,
Is it like pre-plastic?
And the shack's coming down.
Right, I'm just saying, like, for $10 you could pour
Oh,
some,
I know, yeah.
some bacteria in there, and it might
Bill, it's just,
clear
the
a little
water's just
out.
used for cleaning vegetables. right?
No, it's used, we run the water to make coffee, and then at the end of the day, we wash the coffee pots out, and then when people come in our porta potty, they go in there, wash their hands, and then we have sanitizers. It's the total water usage.
That clogs that thing right up. That's it.
So what we do is we run one bay till that plugs up, then go up to the next bay, plug that one up, go to the next bay and plug that one up.
It is
I
roughing.
wonder if a free flow drain into a
To the pool?
into a hose, running, draining onto the grass. It's not even considered gray water.
Well, it's probably uphill that way.
Yeah, it would run down into the farmer's market.
Well, no, if it goes into the grass behind it, but you'd have to gravity feed it to get it to the lawn, because you gotta step up to go out.
Yep.
It is
So
up.
that,
But eventually it should flow. Just trying to figure out
right, let's take it to the pickle festival.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Do I have the date right on that one?
2014?
No, it should say 13.
It does say 14.
Yes.
Anticipation.
You know what it is I was.
I
done
do
with
things
the-
like that.
Done with the street festival, and I did the street festival stuff, and then I said, okay, let's do the pickle festival and get that one going, and I just, that's probably, I thought I corrected on the one I sent to the town board, but maybe not.
It's a good thing you don't have a pickle on the street festival
No,
cover
you
page.
had your corrections right to our copy, except
Yes.
the cover was
Yeah,
14.
Okay, I spoke with Billy Brooks. He came in, filled out the application, and this is very well written, and there was also a notice where you had also mentioned that you would make sure with Terry.
Yeah, I saw Terry today, he said he'd come out and do it,
Right.
he'd flag it.
We'll have blue lines on the grass, which is great. Billy Brooks informed me that he would not be giving us a deposit because we kept the deposit last year. So I think we have to kind of,
Yeah, but we had to do work.
What do you have to do?
What's that?
What work has to be done? Do we have, India Security comes in and
Door.
cleans everything.
Yeah.
There
what
was a
do-
door
I
that-
remember
yeah, that's,
this.
that, yeah,
There's a bunch of scuffing, I don't,
there was a crash in the playground
Oh, right.
that we had some work to do there to put the timbers back and fill in those ruts. It wasn't major, but it was some work there. We were holding a ransom for the staples that came out, and we didn't, I don't think we paid anybody. What happened is somebody came in from the community service and spent a long time. And he did it though, he plucked every one of those staples out. So it didn't cost us money, but I did hold this ransom for that. The paint has not yet been done because we're going to paint soon after they get done with the school. They'll take whatever's left of that paint, it's the same color as this, and work on this over the winter. So it was kind of mute to make him do it when they're gonna come and do it anyway. So those are the three things that we kept the money for.
Playground, the wall, what was the third one?
There's the staples around the pavilion.
Okay.
you want a big piece of paper, Bill?
No, we've actually switched last year to wood lath and screws.
Nice.
And I probably lost both my helpers this year, huh? They got full-time jobs?
Well, we'll see what we can do about getting at least, well, you still got me,
Yeah.
but I'll see what I can
Well,
do about
tonight, before I came as
Get
Chamber of
somebody
Commerce,
freed
they're
up.
getting people to sign up for Pickle Fest volunteers, so we'll see what we get out of that too.
So, it seems to me that Pickle Fest has to get another deposit. They didn't
I
get their deposit back because of damage, that's what deposit is for, so.
It's up to the commission what they want to.
We don't owe them any money. Or do we? I mean, are we supposed to itemize their deposit? How much of a deposit is it?
It's $300.
Okay.
So I don't know what the commission wants to do.
You got to speak up.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
There was a bunch of ruts from one of the vendors or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
the
totally
playground,
remember.
the playground had some serious damage.
Right, I saw that too.
Yeah.
So do we know the man hours that the town spent to fix that? And
I thought
what,
Billy Bush came and fixed that himself.
No, no one ever came to
Okay.
fix it. Never. No,
I mean,
that was
because
town work.
it seems like if we're gonna keep the deposit, we probably need to show, no?
I kind of think that the reason for the deposit is bigger than just the pound for pound. You know, the man hours as much as an issue of the work and effort and energy that Tara spent trying to get it fixed.
The responsibility issue.
And it kind of, yeah, and it's kind of respect and responsibility issue, but also Tara really did make all the phone calls and beg, please come and do this. And I just feel like it's appropriate because we wouldn't do it for anyone else. And you can see we get a lot of garbage from people for not treating everyone the same. I just think it would be the right thing to come up with because there's no charge, it's a town-sponsored event, is to come up with the deposit and just be careful
I think
next year.
He used to pay, right? When Mary Alice was here, he paid something.
I don't know.
Heidi never got a check? You never
I
got
was
a
just
check?
gonna say, you never even filled out a site plan.
We said you need to have a letter.
No, site plan just ordered
No,
in 12.
we waived the fees when the town's co-sponsors or co-sponsors it, but we never got the letters of co-sponsorship either. So that wasn't in compliance either, and then we were asking for profit and loss statements because of the waived fees.
Right.
We weren't getting those either.
Right, Billy never
We weren't even getting applications for a bunch of years.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm going way back, but I do feel like it's really important that we have this relationship where the deposit is paid when asked, and we continue to have this. I don't know.
But the profit and loss is inextricably tied to the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
And the Chamber of Commerce sucks out money faster than a whirlwind. so.
I don't know that it had to be terribly complicated to move it, I think once we decided that it was gonna be co-sponsored, we might not have
You
needed
want
that
the
again.
Is there a minutes attached
the
to that?
minutes, yeah.
It might have been,
Please.
the co-sponsorship kind of makes that move, we don't necessarily need that anymore, I have to tell you, I don't remember the details of it. But we have had trouble getting stuff, but getting that co-sponsorship letter was
This is
difficult.
We shared this with Billy Brooks, and I'm going to give you a copy of this because this is not going to fit on your little paper.
Yeah. Good thing I went shopping.
And so you get to take this one home. Actually, you can just take this one because I have lots of copies. But I emailed this to Billy Brooks, and we've talked about this.
He does read his emails once a week.
Yeah, and he asked me, he came in, he said, Tara, I remember you had this long list of things, and all he ever asked for was the information. I'll comply, just tell me what I need to do, because this is all new to me. And I emailed it to him, and this is what we were looking for, and it's a long. The Recreation Commission would like to recommend and format an official policy that the town-sponsored events follow, not just Pickle Fest, all of them. 1, a letter from the town board stating that a function has been reviewed, approved, and granted permission to operate on the town property with a waived or reduced fee depending on the event's request. It is a first and necessary step to a town-sponsored program. Because the commission does not say yes to this is bigger than the commission, so we need, the commission needs that to go with the application. A site plan, which you do submit. Did the town bother you for a mass gathering permit? Because that's a new.
That's why we submit the site plan is for the mass gathering permit.
Okay, because they have a new application thing, but we won't bother you with that.
No, we didn't do one of those.
Okay, because that covers it, apparently. A profit and loss statement is required of all events that have fees waived or reduced. This profit and loss statement must be kept on record by the town clerk and the bookkeeper for auditing purposes. If charitable contributions are being made by the event planners to the town or to any specific organization, a document of notification detailing the names and amounts designated to the charity is required. Please submit this notification to the town clerk for purposes of record keeping and audits. This is more to help comply with what the state and the feds, right? They look for this. 4, an inspector, a member of the Recreation Commission, the housekeeper, the recreation director, a member of the maintenance department, or a town official will be assigned to take note of any damage or messes left by the event. The event planner, the one who signs the application for use, will be responsible for the compensation of damages or the messes left behind from any event. An assessment of damage will be made at fair market value, and that fair market value for replacement or repair will be the expected rate of compensation. Cleanup fees will be based on the going cleanup deposit rates unless damage is the result of the mess. Then the damage will be assessed at fair market value with appraisals designated at the town's discretion. We did share this expectation with Bill. So here you go. Happy day. So, and we did share it with Bill, but here again, it's just to help us. Here again, the first thing that happened at the farmer's market, well, what about this and what about that? And that's what happens. We get this kind of complaint, as you know, all the time. You sit on these commissions. So if we can just help the Pickle Fest justify when people point the finger and say, well, they're coming down too, it would make everybody's life so much easier.
Well, I think we paid for about 140 gallons of water.
I'm sorry, what did?
Pickle Festival did a donation for 140 gallons of water.
Oh, yeah, and $5,000 to the pool, and it's a benefit
that's
to
what I'm
the.
saying. That probably bought about 140 gallons of water.
Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Don't mind me. But yeah, that would, I love your jokes.
I find it very funny.
No, usually I laugh, but yes, exactly. We realize, and that's the justification. When people say, hey, what about the Pickle Fest? I'm always able to say, they give back to the town. It is definitely tied to benefit to the town, and it does help quell that pain that people want to do the finger pointing. So yes, that's the deal.
But we have, I guess, become more compliant about documentation, and 10 years ago, not so much, 8 years ago, we really can't keep doing that, we're being audited, and it has to look like we got it together, so.
So I can work on that one tomorrow when I go.
And for the commission's purposes or
I'm probably the only person who can sit in Billy Brooks' barber chair and come out looking the same. I used to tell people he's my barber, but he says I'm not good at advertising. But Yeah, so I can discuss these with him tomorrow and see if we can do it.
While you get your hair cut.
As far as town board sponsorship, obviously I'm only one, but I anticipate that the board will.
Have they ever come to you to ask for it? Has it not happened yet?
I think it's a new process.
It is a new process.
It's a new
yeah.
process.
Okay. I'm just going with okay.
And I'm going to refer to your previous comment by saying, you know, things are different now, we have to do it right away, so.
We do.
But what we can do is pull off the agenda and the minutes from the town board that does say that this was approved by the town. That much is there, but
When
we
the
don't
site,
get
the
official.
site plan was,
It was approved.
last week probably.
It was there, I saw it, and it was
Right.
approved, and I can attach that to help us justify.
Right, and we need the actual letter.
But you want the
Right, we
right.
need the letter from the town board, yay, we.
Yes.
And I'll do a motion at the
Thank
next
you.
meeting.
Thank you.
And Deb will write that letter up, or Michelle, right?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take.
we can get a big letter.
Great.
Yeah.
Marvelous. Okay, so where are we?
We're at.
Is that any other
program.
questions?
That's it, right?
Okay,
Any-
yeah, youth program. The Rosendale Youth Center staff would like to know if the commission would be so kind as to allow a painted four-square court on the parking lot at the youth center.
Oh, please, can we say yes?
Okay, hold on. Just one comment from me, because I watch it happen all the time. Foursquare is hot. This is a great game. Even adults are getting involved. It's so fun. But my concern is, on the condition, maybe,
Cones.
you know it, it's safety.
Yeah.
Because I myself have a boy that plays Foursquare who would die for it, and I'm picking him up, and he's playing Foursquare in the parking lot, and I'm backing around, and I'm like, how many kids are behind me? And it's a safety issue.
I
It's
think
always.
an area does Foursquare, I don't know what the.
It's not that big.
What is it?
I think an area-
It's a big old
I could
kickball.
pace it out.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
It's, the court would be probably like this big.
That's
And
it?
it's cut into
Yeah.
four.
right.
What
And
do you
that's-
do?
So I thought it was like
Chalk.
the thing for
And you get four
Christmas.
kids in it, and then a line circling in and out, and they bounce a ball.
Oh.
And there's
do
four
different
kids,
crazy
and they stand
things.
in line, and it's a great game.
The shuffleboard course is out there?
It is.
That'd be a great spot. You could
That's
just have her in
fantastic.
there.
I love that idea, but we need to fill in the middle.
Huh?
It needs to be
Between the two?
Yeah, we need to fill in the middle. But yes, that is the spot that
Why,
I'd like to
because
see.
both of the shuffleboard courts would be utilized for one, or?
It's not big enough.
Right,
It's
it's,
not big
right,
enough
it's,
for
yeah,
it
it
to
needs,
be
it needs, right, it needs that middle, and then it would be perfectly out of the way. It would
I
be
mean,
in front
that's
of the
an
youth
easy-
center where we
that's
want
a
to keep the kids so they can
fairly
be
easy
monitored
fix.
and,
I mean,
Do you
two
think?
pieces of wood
Where there's
and
It's a
3
forest
bags
there.
of concrete.
It might interrupt the Thursday night shuffleboard tournament though.
I know it. I missed it.
well, you know, if they did it a different color, it wouldn't mess it up at all.
Listen, if you dedicate the shuffleboard courts to Foursquare, you know darn well someone's gonna come along and say, hey, I want to do a shuffleboard.
I've been waiting.
But,
shuffleboard festival.
but as far as I'm concerned, it wouldn't have to interfere with shuffleboard at all, because I think you could do the middle with blacktop,
Well,
left over from whatever road job you're doing, and then paint those lines, and you
Do
can
the
still
whole
have
thing,
your
yeah.
shuffleboard as a
Do
shuffleboard.
people play shuffleboard? I've never seen it.
No,
No,
I'm
but
gonna say-
Kathy still has the stuff, and every once a year, somebody says, where are the things for that? I'd like
It's
to
gonna be
know.
tomorrow. I'm going to play.
You got
Anybody want to join?
You know who likes to play? Don Beal and Dr. Pokowitz, but they play it at his place.
Oh, Walter, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Can
and
I make
bocce,
a
I would
motion
play
that,
bocce.
let me just run a motion up
Go
the
for it.
flagpole here, that we say yes with the provision that cones are set out to keep cars out of the area while the children are at play.
Where's the shuffleboard?
Well,
Well, then that would be for the
Not even
future.
in the-
That would be for the future, the shuffleboard. This is be for now, so they could paint the lines tomorrow and the kids could play the next day. I
what they
mean,
do
they're-
is they chalk.
Can I make the suggestion
They
also
want
that
it.
it's like,
I
you
think
know,
it could be
where,
fine.
you know, where the building is itself, instead of more towards the parking lot, more towards the
The
right
cove.
side of the building and, you know,
To that side.
yeah, all the, as far as
There
away
is a
from the
little
parking
extension
lot
there.
as you can,
There is an
because
extension there.
People
Yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
pull
Really
right up to
opposite.
the building.
That's
Yes.
true.
Bounce the ball in and out.
No, from square to square.
Okay, so on condition of
Ball and
cones,
going around.
You know, it's complicated because each hand they call what they're gonna do. And I've seen them like suddenly they're flamingo or they're you know, like they're like,
Okay.
it's, you know, and different tribes of children make up new variations of it. So I don't know what the standard is. I only know the version I've seen played at High Meadow.
They use a ball,
Yeah, they use what's called a playground ball.
like just
So
a
it's a
regular
ground
kickball
the
or
size of
something?
a basketball, but it's
Kickball.
softer.
Yeah, like a kickball.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun, it's really fun. Okay, so was the, an emo, I
Well, I
didn't hear a
made a
second.
motion. I didn't hear any second. I didn't hear
Here's
any
some
vote.
Foursquare going
I'll
on.
second.
Oh, here you go. Well, that court's pretty big, that's a
That's a
man-sized
big
court.
court, I hope it's smaller than
No,
that.
Our boys play with a lot smaller
Okay.
court. Yeah, but that's a great,
I seem to remember.
So Free just seconded.
Thank you.
yeah, it's a bit, it's,
There you go.
it's a forever, it's old, but
Participatory
it's back.
democracy.
It's definitely back, it's hot. Everybody loves
Our
Foursquare.
school before it was.
Yeah, yes.
I hate to add this to the agenda, but there was one issue that I just felt like we never got to
Yeah, this is a
discuss
big
together.
one. I never saw one you
Meeting
did.
last
Right.
month.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I'm
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you
Yes.
said.
Bouncy Castle.
Yes?
It was just an issue we didn't get to discuss last month, and there was some stuff happening, going around, and it wasn't, none of it became official, and we guessed we needed to talk about it.
Right, I
But you
Forgot
could
to-
maybe tell the story of the Bouncy Castle.
Okay, right, yeah, for free especially, because
Yeah.
we have pieces and parts of it. The summer camp uses for their program, the summer program, to replace the pool, to help these kids get wet and cool, twice in each session. They have 2-week sessions, so Fridays on those 2-week sessions, so it's a total of 6 times. They have a company that comes in and blows up a bouncy castle that has spray water that's as tall as the ceiling, and you walk up and you slide down and you get wet, and there's a little splash pool, and it's very monitored by the counselors, and it's insured, and it's approved by the town and the program, and it's very special location, and it's a great thing for the kids. ShopRite came, and they are benefactors of the youth center. They do a lot for Kathy over there, and she wanted to make it special when they walk through to see, because they want to have their picnic here for their company, and they walked over to the youth center and said, hey, check this thing out. Kathy said, who are you? And they said, we're ShopRite, and they got this conversation, we're going to have a party here, we're looking into it, and she just got so excited and said, well, wow, no, we don't have the pool, but I have this bouncy house. Here's their card. You can, for your kids and activities, have this bouncy house, and this is the company, and this is where they install, and then they came over and they said bouncy house, and we had just as a commission said no bouncy houses, and I said no bouncy house, but Kathy Wade said we could, and then I just broke their hearts, and I said, oh, so I called Kathy, and she said, well, you know what, we do it for it's okay with the town, it's insured, we do it for the summer camp, and that's my thing over there, and I said they can, so this was the thing, this is why I let it go, because they booked the youth center. They booked it for a party. So they were under contract with the youth center, it was out of the commission's hands at that point, which is totally fine. The problem was the ShopRite got creative and hired their own company, not the guy who installs the bouncy house and knows where it goes and all the arrangements that they have with the town to protect the town from problems and location. They hired their own independent, and they put all the they put 2. One was a bouncy house and one was the water slide thing, and they put them to the other side of where Kathy has them, which meant an electric cord had to go across the front entrance of the youth center, and where the heck were they going to put a hose? The same thing, was going to have to feed across where they were renting to have people come in and out, and we know what kind of problems that causes. So I came later than the installer. He was here and gone. I was here by 8:30 that morning, and he was already installed, and there was somebody standing there kind of monitoring things. And I walked over, I said, this is all wrong, we can't do, this is impossible. I thought you knew that you had, oh, well, we hired this company, and they said this would be best. And I said, but what about your cords? What about your hoses? All the hookups over there. And then it occurred to me, I'm looking, and there were stakes that went right next to the propane tanks and the water fountain pipes. And I'm thinking, yeah, how do I know that they didn't puncture? Are we going to explode? So I called Kathy, and she was, of course, the same panic I was. No, it wasn't supposed to go like that. So there was a problem with it. ShopRite had a happy day, and we won that. And the kids had a great time, and thankfully, there's no propane leaks, and water fountains are still working. And what Kathy did is, Sheehan, who was on the commission long before us, recommended that I call him because he's a member of ShopRite, and he was walking the property with them, And she said, call him, he'll know how to get as much hose as he needs, and we'll wire everything around the backside of the building. And that worked, so we could protect people from tripping, and it was the solution to the problem. But we bring this up for discussion because typically we don't have any problems with the difference between what rec does, what rec commission does, and what the youth center does. But this was one of those moments where we kind of hit a problem where we could have been liable, or there could have been problems, and we just think we should maybe discuss what we wanted to do about that.
I mean, we just ironically had just, I think the meeting before, just out of nowhere, said, no bouncy castles. I don't even know,
Well, somebody
remember why
wanted
it
it
came
for a
up.
private party.
Was
yeah,
it was a
somebody
private
renting
party,
it
and we
for
said,
here.
yeah, right.
I'll see you folks
here.
all later. I'm gonna
Bye,
go now.
thanks.
You want to do bouncy houses, Bill?
I'm gonna go with it.
All right,
right.
nice to meet you.
Before you do
Good
that,
luck
sure
with
enough.
finding a kitchen.
I'll find it.
I know you will.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we were like, well, what's gonna, how,
How are we gonna explain?
there's so much liability.
Well, that was here, I mean, we can make the policy here, but then there's the youth, and if she's renting her building, then she has her thing that she can
But
do
then
there.
she
This
needs
kind
to
of
make sure that doesn't happen
It
again,
did,
that's
Right,
all.
right. But I mean, but the thing, I feel like they rented the whole property, not just the
Yeah, they
youth
did. They
center.
rented
So
the
it
whole
was,
thing.
that's where it kind of crossed.
Yeah, it was a part, the whole
here,
thing. They used
too.
the pavilion, they used the,
Yeah,
they used the building. They rent the building.
yeah.
They used the whole thing, everything, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is that there are lawsuits, we don't talk about that much. There are some really scary lawsuits going on, really scary. And they have to do with this property, they really do. But it's not anything that we discuss as a commission, but we do have to talk about, if something comes to us, is to make a cognizant, just a really clear process and protocol on it. And so when it crosses, I think we need to talk together. It almost never does. I mean, we have
Yeah.
a great relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I like letting her have as much autonomy as is functional.
Well, he asked, first of all, I mean, part of the story is that Tara was asked first, and she said, no, I'm sorry, you can't have it. And then he went over there and I said, can we have it? So, do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
and then it was there.
yeah.
So there was that moment where like, where does, like, how do we
Mommy
keep
said
these
no, I'll
things?
go ask Daddy,
Exactly.
yeah.
Daddy's like, yes to everything.
So we need a way to set up some kind of protocol for when a group rents the youth center
Yes.
and the rest of the
Yeah, and I can
property.
tell you, I don't remember it happening. Do you remember this
No,
happening?
I
never-
haven't seen this
I've
before.
never seen this happen.
Another country heard from.
Thank you very much.
So
So,
it's not an ongoing problem, but every time something comes up that we've never dealt with before, we say, oh, I
We'll
guess
make
we
a
need to talk
rule.
about that now.
right,
We
And-
like rules.
and just have some kind of protocol. Like, did this person,
You know, those could probably stay.
This person knew.
Do any of those
But did-
statements not apply to the town
This
board?
person was
Let
a
them
former
take
rec
it down if they
commissioner.
don't like
This
it.
person knew.
yeah,
I
so
walked in, I was like, oh my God.
my
Sorry.
question
I'm so
is,
sorry.
did they like file an application with the youth center and with the rec center?
They did,
Which
yes.
They
is why.
did.
Because you know what? The youth center is on the rec center property.
Yeah.
It really is.
So maybe there should be a lead agency.
It's, that's the youth, the rec commission
Right,
is
it
the-
should be.
It should have been.
Is the lead.
Yeah.
It was not a nice moment. I mean,
I mean,
Tara
just-
made it nicer than I think it actually was, but it was.
Well, you look,
I think emails like, there's a bouncy house, I can take from
I know, what the hell?
Yeah.